South Korea and the people of South Korea are known for many things. You might know them for their peaceful Buddhistic approach to life, or you might know Korea for the beautiful scenery that you may experience through the countryside or even the city. Or what you might notice is the architecture, the structures, the buildings. Just 30 kilometers from my hometown of Seoul, South Korea, there exists a city called Suwon. Within this city, there exists this fortress. This fortress called the Hwaseong Fortress, which was built by the king at the time in order to have a place so he can lay his father's remains and also build a structure that can provide for a defensive structure for the city of Suwon. After performing extensive research on the topic, I'm here to inform you a little bit more about the Hwaseong Fortress, what kind of practical uses a fortress of that size and magnitude has in our day and age, and if you ever get the chance to visit Hwaseong Fortress, then the cool little method of transportation that you can use to travel through the city, a trolley. So first off, the Hwaseong Fortress started construction in January 1794 and ended construction in September 1796. That means it took roughly 2 years and 9 months in order to complete the structure. It was overseen by the king at the time. The king's name was King Jongjo, and King Jongjo was the 22nd king of the Joseon dynasty. Whenever he was building this fortress, he had two things in mind that he wanted to complete. The first main thing is he wanted to build a proper place that he could lay his father's remains, as his father passed away because he had mental illness and issues, and the great-grandfather wound up killing him, so he died a little prematurely. The second reason that he wanted this fortress was in order to provide a military defensive structure for the city of Suwon in the event that warfare were to occur within the city or the states. It is a semi-mountain fortress, and according to UNESCO.org, the massive walls, extended for nearly 6 kilometers, still survive. They are pierced by 4 gates, bastions, artillery towers, and other features. And as perfectly said by KoreanCulture.org, the fortification is structured rationally and practically to practically and effectively perform its function. And to top it all off, it has this really large, nice stream that runs right through the fortress. Sounds like an amazing piece of architecture, right? Withstood several hundred years and is still here to this day. But next we have to look into what kind of use does a fortress of this size and magnitude have in our current day society. As of right now, it currently just serves as a historical landmark in South Korea. It's used mostly as a tourist attraction or just attraction for civilians if they want to go experience a little bit about their culture, a little bit about history. And is overseen by the city of Suwon. And over time, as it withstood for a long period of time, it has experienced its fair share of damages throughout the Korean War, where it experienced several damages through sections of the wall of the fortress, and just over the period of time of 200 years. It has been restructured, and even with these patches and repairs, they have made alterations to it where they had to put tunnels essentially through the walls so that the citizens can transport through without having to go all the way around. But even with all that, there are still festivals and festivities that occur monthly, weekly, periodically. These events may allow people to explore their culture, their foods, the architecture in there. According to Chi-Han Kim from Stripes Korea, Hwaseong Palace hosts military ceremonies performed by the King's Guard, traditional games, plate spinning, and an appearance by King Jongjo himself. Lastly, we have to talk about one of the best ways to explore the fortress and the city that's within the fortress. The most popular and common way that people like to explore it is through the Hwaseong Fortress tourist trolley, which is this right here. The Hwaseong trolley seats up to 45 people. It goes at a top speed of 15 kilometers per hour, and with 5.7 kilometers cover, It could take roughly 40, maybe 50 minutes in order to complete the entire trip. And according to visitkorea.kr, the price of a ticket for an adult is a whopping 6,000 won, which equates to a little over $5 in US dollars. In conclusion, this landmark is known throughout South Korea not just for its defensive efforts in Suwon and the surrounding cities, but also its ability to withstand the test of time. It was originally built several hundred years ago it was originally built several hundred years by King Jeongjo so he can have a proper place to lay his father's remains, and also protect the people of Suwon in the event of something were to happen. It now currently serves mostly as a tourist attraction. People like to go explore. It's a historical landmark. And if you ever do get the chance to go explore Hwaseong Fortress, I highly recommend taking the Hwaseong Fortress tourist trolley, as it is a wise investment at just $5. Thank you for listening, and today I hope that I informed you a little more about my home country, South Korea, more specifically Seoul, South Korea, or at least historical landmarks that are around the area. Thank you.